welcome to another episode of World of MMA Tonight with your host, Tyler Lawrence. On this edition, we had the opportunity to speak with Shannon Knapp, the president of Invicta Fighting Championships, an all-women's MMA league making their promotional debut on April 28th. Shannon, welcome to the World of MMA Tonight.
Well, thank you for having me on. We certainly appreciate it.
Can you share with us some of the roles that you have played in the MMA industry?
Well, let's see. I've been in the business, I'd say, approximately about 12 years now, which makes me really old when I think about it. But, I pretty much for everybody, from, back in the early days, King of the Cage, Sport Fight, UFC, IFL, Affliction, Strikeforce. I even did one of the events for the WFA, a bunch of regional shows, as I came up through the ranks. So I guess if you're asking, what type of positions I've held, I've been for everything from commentator to athlete relations specialist to director of athlete relations to matchmaker to you name it. So I've worn many hats in this business.
How did you guys come up with the name for Invicta Fighting Championships, and what does it mean?
We've been working on, building the foundation for the promotion for probably, I'd say, close to coming up on a year now. And, a name was really something that we struggled with in the beginning. It was because, you wanted it to have meaning, yet you also wanted it to, have, some femininity to it, to some degree. So actually, it was my business partner that threw it out there first because it means, Invicta means unconquerable. And, that's what we feel, that the women in this side of the sport, that's part of their makeup, as you might say, is because, these girls have been fighting for a long time, fighting the fight just to get fights. So it was a perfect name. It fit us well and our vision for where we're headed and what we want to achieve. We're going to be, unstoppable, unconquerable. It all kind of flows and fits together.
When you decided to create an all-women's MMA league, did you receive the blessings from Scott Coker and Dana White?
The blessings. Define blessing, I guess. But, Dana, I spoke with Dana about what I was doing. Of course, he wished me, great success and, thought it was a great thing. So, yeah, I guess blessing is, are they supportive of what I'm doing? I don't know on Scott's side, but I know that, Dana gave me the blessing in terms of, being, wishing her, I'm successful and all that good stuff. And, they allow their girls to fight, the Strikeforce signed athletes to fight on our card. So I'm going to assume that you would call that a blessing. So, honestly, I haven't spoke to Scott, but I have spoke to Dana. And, yeah, it's always a positive relationship. So, yeah, then I guess to answer your question would be yes, and we got a blessing.
It's good to hear that Dana White and the decision makers at Zuffa is allowing Invicta Fighting Championships to use their fighters on the upcoming promotional debut. Dana has always said in the past that it's tough to create an all-women's MMA league because there's not enough names to fill the roster. How does Invicta Fighting Championships plan on overcoming this obstacle?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say that, Dana's absolutely right. It is tough to build depth in these divisions, but one of the reasons it's so tough is because there is a lack of opportunity. You can't build any depth in anything if you don't have an opportunity to create it in terms of opportunities for these girls to fight. I think that the other problem on this side of the sport is that a lot of the females are jumping up 1 and 2 weight classes, taking fights that, are not at their optimum weight so that they can just have an opportunity. And I think this creates a disarray, too, as far as knowing what, the depth is in these weight divisions. So, when Dana says that, he's absolutely making an accurate statement. But there is a rebuttal to that, and the rebuttal to that, I hope, is us, the Fighting Championships, is that, we're going to be the ones that get in here and put the work in and the time and the effort to create these opportunities to try to legitimize these weight classes and build that depth. There are a ton of women out there that want to fight, and there are amateurs coming up every day that are making their pro debuts, turning. So I think that it's just a matter of someone taking the time and making the investment in the time, in the space to get in here and build a platform where these girls have the opportunities. And I think that will make the difference.
Will we see Strikeforce female fighters join the Invicta roster? And has there been any discussion with Ronda Rousey or Chris Cyborg to have them fight for Invicta?
So the big thing I want to clarify is that Strikeforce is still Strikeforce, and we are a completely different promotion. One of the things is that they have had limited spots and opportunities since, they have cut their shows in half with the Showtime deal. So some of the girls, they just haven't had the opportunity for the girls to fight. So, what they've done is allowed them to come over and fight on our card. Now, with that being said, they are still 100% absolutely Strikeforce athletes. They're not our athletes. So, do I look for, like a Ronda Rousey or a Mish Tate or Chris Cyborg fight on our card? I would consider those to be big assets to Strikeforce, so I don't look for that to happen, no. I certainly don't, so.
How can we watch Invicta Fighting Championships on April 28th?
Well, I'll tell you what we are doing. You'll be able to watch the bands, and you'll also be able to watch the event on our website at invictafc.com. All you have to do is just go to the website, and it will be playing. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to pay. You don't have to do anything. So, yeah, and hopefully, everybody will at least give us the opportunity to check it out. So, yeah, definitely just go to our website, and you'll be able to watch it and the weigh-ins.
Are there any other events planned for Invicta Fighting Championships, or are you guys planning on taking this one step at a time?
No. We are way ahead of the game already again. I mean, we're already working on our next card, which will really take place at the end of July. I mean, when we came out and made our announcement that, we're Invicta Fighting Championships and, just, announcing the company within itself, we also announced the date of our event and a full top-to-bottom fight card. The only thing that has changed since we made that announcement is we've added one more fight for a total of 12. But no, I think one of the things I think that, I have to make very clear here once again is that these females in this side of the sport are looking for opportunities. Those opportunities out there are not, there are not a ton of them. I mean, if you take a look at over at Strikeforce, I mean, they're having, you get one or two fights every few months. You see a female on the card. How many females do you think that is? And over the span of a year, that's not a lot of spots. And there are many weight divisions out there, not just 135 pounds. I mean, you've got 105s, you've got 115s, 125s, 35s and 45s. So think about all those women sitting out there that are fighting, and aspiring to fight. And then Bellator, a couple fights here or there, Pro Elite, I mean, that's a very limited amount of opportunities. So, when you go, you say to a group of females that, hey, we're going to put on this fight card and it's going to be nothing but females, top to bottom. I mean, they were coming out in groves trying to find a spot on the card.
As the all-women's MMA league continues to grow, do you think that Strikeforce could potentially become a competitor?
Well, I mean, honestly, right now we have a working relationship with both, and that's the way I prefer to keep it, and so is my business partner. The thing is, that's the only way that you do create more opportunities. Otherwise, when they don't have spots and they have signed girls, what's happening is these girls are sitting there. So, having an open relationship with each one of these promotions is the best way. It's a win-win for everyone. I guess your question was, do I feel that we'll ever change? I think as long as we run our business as a professional organization with a level of respect for all the other promotions that we deal with, I don't think that, we're going to have problems like that. I think being respectful of someone else's signed athletes is, the first and foremost etiquette in any promotion. It should be. So with that being said, you know what? We're not in competition with any of them. I mean, Strikeforce does 135, 145, I don't know what the state of that really is right now for me to comment on what, the situation with Chris Cyborg. But 135 seems to be their focus. We have, 5 weight divisions. So I'm okay with them being the top dog in the 135-pound division. And if we can bring, talent that's coming up through the ranks to provide, then I'm okay with that too. I mean, because at the end of the day, what it translates down to is more opportunities for the female on this side of the sport. And that is why we got into the business, is to make a difference. You know, I mean, we know we're going to lose money. We know that, you know, it's a long road, you know. We know that, and, you know, we're prepared for it. You know, for us, I mean, the decision to do it is totally and completely based on the fact that we want to make a difference. So,
where can people find you if they have any more questions or want more information?
Yeah, let's see what I'm at Shannon Knapp, so just short for Shannon, and then please be sure to also follow at Invicta Fights.
The clip of the week for this episode of World of MMA Tonight includes Natasha Wicks, who has recently been announced as the official ring girl for Invicta Fighting Championships, being hit on by UFC Hall of Famer Randy Couture at the It Ain't Chemo fundraiser, which recently took place in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. Did I what?